Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima Saman. This time I want to invite Nicodemus Bore to ask you some questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Madam Amadi, we saw your service to the nation for the last 10 years in the public. And from your CV, you have indicated that you did almost 20 years in the public service.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm sure you have had experiences of misconduct within your institutions that you have been serving.
Yes.
And also, your role was to ensure integrity was upheld. So, how are you able to deal with such internal misconducts at the same time upholding integrity, especially as a chief registrar for the last 10 years?
Okay. Yes, we had a lot of challenges with integrity issues in the judiciary. It's in the public domain. We know that we have very many good judicial officers, but we also have those that disappoint, and it's really a national problem. So some of the integrity issues that we had at all levels, at the judicial level and at the administrative level, included things like allegations of corruption, allegations of bribery, allegations of improper influence, and that's on the judicial level. At the administrative level, there were allegations when it came to matters of favoritism, as an example, in terms of, things like transfer, like, what else? Promotions. There would be those allegations. And so what did we do? In terms of looking at matters integrity, the judiciary created the Office of the Judiciary Ombudsman that would receive complaints from the public or from the internal public. And so the complaints would be processed and sent to the Judicial Service Commission, which has a disciplinary mandate, both for staff and the judicial officers and the judges. So complaints would come. There was a complaints manual that we developed to help us process them by way of giving the complainant an opportunity to be heard, and also giving the judicial officer or staff an opportunity to be heard. And then a determination is made. In a few cases, there were people who were let go. In some, there would be a warning or a severe warning, or one would be admonished. So there were different levels of disciplinary outcomes depending on the gravity of the problem. So in terms of upholding integrity, we did customer satisfaction surveys to just have a sense of what people are saying about us. Initially, we got a very low percentage, and the subsequent ones kept getting better and better because we were able now to identify the areas where we were being hit the most and trying to put measures in place to make sure that we try and deal with the issue of upholding integrity. One of the initiatives that we put in place was to have integrity assurance officers in every court station. So every court station had to pick 2 people to be the integrity assurance officers, and we partnered with the EACC to train them so that then they would know what to look out for and indicate who was doing what. It was still new by the time I left the judiciary, and I hope that it is progressing well. So apart from the Office of the Judiciary Ombudsman, we had the integrity assurance officers, and we also had the judiciary leadership team that then would deal with certain aspects of concerns that were coming from the court stations, especially where there is no report. Because one thing you realize is that many times people will say, court so-and-so is corrupt, but they will rarely come and say, I gave this or I did this, because things are done under the table. So that then it's when it's a matter that is of common notoriety, but you don't really have any evidence, it becomes challenging to deal with it. But again, you can deal with it administratively just by asking the magistrate or the staff to come and you tell this is your reputation and you're being watched. And in some situations, it did help.
As follow-up question, the position you have applied for is of very high public scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, a year ago, before you left office,
Yes.
the High Court issued orders to freeze your personal accounts,
Yes.
and those of the law firm associated with yourself,
Yes.
that is Amadi and Associates Advocates, in relation to a gold scandal.
That's correct.
It is alleged that you and other persons who are at the center of the gold scandal defrauded a British citizen of more than $100 million paid to the purchase of 1,500 kilograms of gold,
That's correct.
which it is said you were to deliver in exchange for the payment. These are serious allegations,
Very.
and we wish you to have a chance to explain to the public
Yes.
how this position you have applied for, noting the serious allegations of your involvement in the gold scandal.
Yes.
And maybe you can have a chance to clear the air.
Yes. It is true that there was an order that was issued freezing my account, and I agree with you that the allegations are extremely serious. My response is this, that there was actually no reason for me to be in that case and named as the first respondent, because the firm that is involved, I resigned from it in 2014. And I was very busy in the judiciary. There was no time even to go and, get into any kind of practice. So for me, it was a malicious attack, and which is something that is, when you're in public service, you must be ready for. Public service at certain levels is not for the faint-hearted. So it was an attempt to shake me, an attempt to mudsling my reputation, because I've upheld my integrity. I do not have skills in gold trade, and I had nothing to do with it. In fact, for the interest of this commission, I came with copies of the decision of the High Court that vitiated the decision freezing my account, and also the decision of the Court of Appeal, which agreed with the High Court and basically found that I had nothing to do with it. So I have the decisions which I can share with